Hi everyone, welcome to topic 6. Our topic for this week is strategic pricing and management of distribution channels. So we have already talked about the importance of strategic pricing, right? So strategic pricing refers to the pricing pyramid that we have discussed in previous chapters. When we give pricing decisions, we should think in the best interest of the company in the long run, right? We shouldn't give short-sighted decisions, and pricing should be part of overall corporate strategy as well as revenue management strategy. So today we are going to discuss strategic pricing hand in hand with management of distribution channels. So if you remember core revenue management processes, we start with business analysis. Based on business analysis, we put together a pricing strategy. Then we do demand modeling and forecasting, and then we do price and inventory optimization, and we set booking controls, and then we disseminate this information to different distribution channels. Okay, so it is the revenue team, revenue director, that chooses which distribution channels he or she would like to work with. So this is entirely under the jurisdiction of revenue management department. So let's see what we are going to learn in this chapter. At the end of this class, you should be able to gain a comprehensive understanding of hotel distribution and its mechanisms, recognize the significance of direct channels in this process, and engage in a discussion pertaining to crucial aspects of hotel distribution. So let's first understand, what hotel distribution looks like, right? So hotel distribution happens through hotel PMS, hotel property management system, right? And we have reservations that come through various means, right? I think the most well-known ones are like we have email, we have telephone, we have walk-in, we have our website, hotel's direct website, and we have GDS's, Global Distribution Systems, we have CRS, Central Reservation System, and we have third-party channels including online travel agencies, maybe wholesalers, and various intermediaries, right? And majority of the hotel distribution happens today electronically. So let's define some of these terms, okay? What is a PMS? What is a property management system? PMS is the hardware and software used to record reservations, guest stay information and payments, as well as to record and store other relevant hotel operations data. Then we have CRS, Central Reservation System. So central reservation systems exist for multinational hotel companies, right? You have your Marriott, Hyatt, IHG, Starwood. They are the ones that have CRS systems. So CRS systems accept hotel guest reservations, and then they communicate them to individual hotels' PMS. Okay, so for example, you want to book a Marriott in New York City, then you can go to Marriott.com and then complete the booking on Marriott.com, which is the CRS of Marriott system, right? And then this is transferred automatically to hotels' PMS. Our central reservation system is connected to our call center, our branded website, and global distribution systems. So then, what is a global distribution system? So global distribution system, they were originally set up for airline industry, but then they are now used by travel agents as well. So what are they? Global distribution systems are computerized network platforms that centralize services and provide travel-related transactions. They cover everything from airline tickets to hotel rooms and more. And like I have mentioned, GDSs were originally set up for use by airlines, but were later extended to travel agents as well. And they pass inventory and rate for hotels to travel agents and travel sites. So this is, think of GDSs in hotel industry context like an intermediary between the hotel and the travel agencies. Today there are 4 major GDS systems. They are called Amadeus, Galileo, Sabre, and WorldSpan. So the global distribution network looks something like this, right? So CRS is through a switch connect to global distribution systems. So switch is an electronic connection through which a hospitality provider must pass first before connected to the GDS. And there are 2 switches operating today that connect the entire hospitality industry. Those are Pegasus and Viscom. And most popular GDSs used by the hotel industry are Sabre and Galileo. And then we are going to take a look at mainly internet distribution systems in this class, because these are the most important distribution channels, okay? And these facilitate the purchase of hospitality products and services to the consumers. So here we start with the company website, okay? This can be an individual unit, an individual website of a hotel, and or a central reservation system. So this is the most important channel for the hotel, okay? And this is for several reasons. The first reason, of course, is the commission, right? When you think about management of distribution channels, you should think about this hand in hand with distribution cost, right? So distribution cost is lowest for the direct channel, but there is also another very important reason, and that is the guest data, right? When the customer books through your channel directly, you have the ownership of customer data. Remember we talked about segmentation, right? Without proper segmentation, we cannot do revenue management. To do segmentation, we need customer data. And we have the customer data, we have the ownership of this data if the customer books directly from us. Therefore, our proprietary site is very, very important. Then we have merchant and retail model. These models apply to online travel agencies, and we will see what these models mean. Then we have opaque sites. Opaque sites are online travel agencies as well. And the reason they are called opaque, because the price and the name of the hotel that customers are purchasing is not transparent. Okay? These are mostly like bidding websites where customers bid for a room in a destination, but they don't know exactly what the hotel brand is, right? And there's no exact price. Customer basically has to bid, and if they win the bid, then they get an email telling them which hotel they will be staying at, and usually their credit card will be fully charged. So those are opaque sites. Then we have auction sites. Auction sites is basically you are selling your rooms through an auction. Okay, this is not very popular but still used. Then we have referral service. Referral service, think of, meta search sites, right? If somebody finds you through Google, through Yahoo, or through kayak.com, then those websites get a referral service commission from the hotel. Then we might have special interest or niche sites. Let's say you are looking for a hotel, golf hotel, and you are on this website buying golf clubs for yourself, and then you see an advertisement, a banner on the side of the page telling you, oh, would you like to play golf in this hotel, has this wonderful golf course. And if you click into that and buy that deal, then the hotel is going to pay commission to this website. And then we have general web portal. Of course, this is again like your Bing.com, Google.com, Yahoo.com, those general web portals. So now let's take a look at online travel agency models. And again, online travel agencies today, right after the direct channel, are the most important distribution channels, okay? And they are not cheap. So the first model, OTA model, we are going to take a look at is called agency or retail model. So this is commission based per room sold. So let's say your room rate is $200, and if you are giving 20% commission, then hotel's net revenue would be $160 and $40 would be paid to the OTA as commission, right? And commissions can range anywhere from 10% all the way up to 22%, right? In this model, hotels decide the final selling price to the customer, and OTA takes a commission. Then we have merchant model. Okay, so in merchant model, the travel site OTA obtains inventory at a wholesale rate, which is usually 20 to 30% cheaper, okay, from the hotel company. And then it is the merchant that does a markup, okay, markup, and then decide what the selling price should be, okay. And there's usually a contract between hotel and the OTA to sell a base number of rooms. So from hotel's perspective, basically, you are getting rid of bulk of your inventory that you think it is not easy for you to sell, right? So you sell a chunk of your inventory at a wholesale rate, 20-30% cheaper, and then you get the money from OTA. So you put this money in your pocket, but then you might lose the control of your pricing, right? Because OTA is going to take those rooms and they are going to mark up, and they can mark up however they want, unless you put a specific term in the contract that doesn't allow them to do so, okay? Usually, smart hotels, when this contract happens between OTA and the hotel, smart hotels ask to put a clause in the contract saying that OTA shouldn't sell these rooms alone, okay? Maybe they should package them so that customer cannot see the price of the room, right? Because this price is going to be lower than all other prices at the same time. And then why we call this merchant model? Because OTA is then acting as a merchant, right? Selling the room to the customer at a retail rate. But again, you know, they don't always sell the room at the retail rate, right? So intermediary can actually decide what to charge to these rooms. But again, smart hotels will ask OTAs to package this hotel room with other offers such as flight and car rental. Right, and the contracts with hotels may require, it most of the time will require prepayment to the hotel, okay, and intermediary handles very high volume. So overall, in revenue management context, I think we recommend agency retail model over merchant model, because in agency retail model you still have control on your pricing, right? Whereas in merchant model, you don't have as much control on your pricing. And this is dangerous in revenue management context. Then we have opaque auction type of rooms. And in these models, customers bid on rooms. For opaque model, customers do not know the names of the hotels prior to bidding, right? This is different than auction. In auction, you know the names of the hotels that you are bidding for. And reservations in these type of models tend to be non-refundable. And you can check out Priceline and Hotwire.com. They have actually opaque pricing models. Then we have traditional online travel agencies. So traditional online travel agencies are just like travel agencies, but online, okay? They are traditional travel agencies, and for that reason, commissions are generally lower, around 10%, can be a little more, and examples are like Orbitz and American Express. Then we also have same-day booking apps. So these are OTAs as well, right? Online travel agencies. And they don't have website presence. They only come as an app. So you need to download this app to your phone. And they are location-based. So they are going to work, you know, like tied to the location you are in at that time. So this is non-crawlable. So if, you know, somebody try to collect the hotel rates from same-day booking apps, they are not able to, okay, because the data is non-crawlable. And there's a closed user group, so if you want to see the prices, you have to download the app and then you have to become a member, right? And this gives pricing flexibility to the hotels. If they want to get rid of some, like some rooms that they cannot sell very close to the arrival date, then they have the pricing flexibility here. And it is very last minute, so it is demand driven. Examples for same-day booking apps, we have Hotel Quickly, Hotel Tonight, Blink, and Just Book. So let's take a look at reservation fees. So this information is a little bit outdated, so fees most probably are a little higher now, but just to give you some information. Global distribution system, internet distribution system, price per net reservation around $10.50. These are US dollars. If the company is using Direct Connect, that is $3.5. Travel agency commission processing 50 cents, and mobile applications at the minimum tend to be around $650 per hotel per month. So let's take a look at this example. Distribution cost versus channel selection. So we are assuming the selling rate is $179 and the average length of stay is 2.5 nights. Okay, so 179 multiplied by 2.5, we get 447.5. So what happens if this booking is coming through branded website, after our reservation service, global distribution system, or two other travel agents, including Travelocity and Expedia? So when we put the selling rate is the same across all distribution channels, but then we see the commission, right? We have the commission and we have transaction fee. For Travelocity, we need to use Direct Connect, so in addition to 20% commission, we also have $3.50 fee as well. Whereas Expedia, we put just 25% commission. And when we do this calculation with the length of stay, we get the efficiency, right? And efficiency is going to show us the cost net rate type of relationship, right? And the most efficient one is of course the branded website, because transaction fee is just $10.50 per transaction per booking, right? That's it. There are no other costs, so that gives us very high efficiency, 97.7%. After our reservation service, again, transaction fee is higher here because it is after office hour reservation service. Global distribution system, we are looking at 10% commission and a $10.50 transaction fee. You are still at 87.6%. It is not as good as direct channels, but also it is not as bad as OTAs, right? And when we go down to OTAs, we see the rates go down to 79% to 75%. So you are paying all that commission to the travel agent, right? But travel agents are also important because they help hotels to increase their visibility, right, in source markets where customers otherwise wouldn't find them. So they are important, but then your revenue director has to be smart working with them. So in an effort to understand the interesting relationship between hotels and online travel agencies, I would like to introduce you to the following case study. So this case study looks at an actual event that happened between Choice Hotels International and Expedia.com. I have done this research and published this paper, and this paper is recommended to you as a reading for this week. So if you are interested after hearing this presentation, please take a look at that paper. It will be much more detailed. So just to give you a perspective, Expedia is one of the world's online leading travel providers. They offer information about flight, hotels, car rentals, cruises, and more, and they provide personalized services, latest technology, and widest selection of vacation packages. So Expedia is basically a very large and powerful online travel agency. And then we have Choice Hotels. So Choice Hotels own these brands, own and operate these brands. Actually, they franchise. I see they franchise most of their hotels, and then they represent more than 500,000 rooms, and they range, their services range from limited service, full service in the economy, mid-scale, and upscale hotels. So if you look at the brand sort of presence and power, we know some of these brands, but we don't know them very well, right? So when you are in a place as a hotel, your brand name power is not very high, right? If we compare Choice Hotels to Marriott, Starwood, Hilton, Hyatt, IHG, it's not the same, right? So that means this hotel group is mainly reliant on online travel agencies to distribute their rooms, right? And to reach customers in places where they cannot reach otherwise, right? This is the beauty of online travel agencies. For example, if you're a hotel that would like to target customers in mainland China, you need to be present in trip.com, right? If you are a hotel that want customers from Europe, you want to be present on booking.com or agoda.com, right? And North America is still using widely Expedia. So if you are a hotel that don't have a strong brand name and a solid base of customer loyalty, you need to use online travel agencies. And in my work with the hotel industry, I have seen some hotels getting as much as 60, 70, 80% of their entire business from online travel agencies. So think about that. If that happens, you have basically no customer data to do segmentation, right? Because when the customer comes through online travel agency owns the customer data, and they don't necessarily share it with you. Of course, at the check-in, you might try to get this data, right? So that you can segment this customer, but you are not always successful in doing so. Anyway, coming back to our case, so this is Choice Hotels, and these are all the brands that Choice Hotels franchise. So here is how the problem between Choice Hotels and Expedia started. Basically, OTAs and hotels sign contracts, right? And it was the time to renew the contract between Expedia and Choice Hotels. But during renewal negotiations, something happened and the negotiations broke down. Okay, this is where the feud started. And at the time, CEO of Choice Hotels, Mr. Steve Joyce, made this statement. They, Expedia, were asking for outrageous things. They demanded last room availability, meaning regardless of strength of market, if we don't expose the last room at that discounted price, we are not in good standing. They said we can never offer a price anywhere we don't offer to them. They would become our revenue manager. So here, there are several issues we need to unpack, right? The first issue is last room availability. So last room in the hotel is deemed as the most valuable room, right? Because remember, you are working with a limited perishable inventory, and if you have very few rooms to sell, and if the demand is still very high, then using this thinking, remember expected marginal revenue principle, the last room left at the hotel is the most valuable room, right? So usually hotels want to maintain the ownership of this room. They don't necessarily want to give this availability to the OTA, right? So this is the first issue. Second issue, if we don't expose the last room at that discounted price, we are not in good standing. So Expedia was pressuring Choice Hotels not only to make the last room availability, but also to provide it at discounted price, right? Why? Because they said we can never offer a price anywhere we don't offer to them. So this is also another mandate of Expedia, right? Because what is Expedia's promise, or what are all OTA's promise to the customers? They are telling the customers we have the best price, right? To give that promise to the customers, they have to put this pressure onto the hotels, right? And Choice Hotels CEO was not happy about that. And then, after the statement of Choice Hotels, Expedia made a statement. And they said this: at this time, Expedia is no longer offering Choice Hotels international properties on our sites. This is due to an inability to reach an agreement on the terms of a new contract with Choice, despite numerous extensions granted by Expedia. While it is not our policy to discuss the terms of contract negotiations publicly, many of the issues under discussion were principles which both parties had been operating. So this is a very diplomatic sort of, public statement by Expedia, right? So they are not disclosing anything anything interesting here, but they are basically saying these are the terms that we regularly use. So, according to this information about the sort of, the small fight between Expedia and Choice Hotels, these were the main issues. Expedia wanted price control. Expedia wanted room rate parity. Again, room rate parity is something that is mandated by online travel agencies, right? Rate parity is all distribution channels will have the same price, and also last room availability. So this case was very interesting to me, because at the time when we conducted this research, when you go and ask hotels about their relationship with online travel agencies, nobody wants to comment on this, okay? And nobody wants to talk about the terms of the contract as well, because that is sort of confidential, right? What you sign with the OTA, and you don't necessarily want to disclose this to your friends or your industry contacts. But when this issue happened between Expedia and Choice Hotels, suddenly a lot of people started discussing this on the online blogs, okay, of hotel blogs. So this is how we collected the data and conducted this research. So we collected qualitative data from online blogs when the negotiations between Expedia and Choice Hotels broke down, and there were 137 written comments. We analyzed 129. Okay, and most of these comments were managed by hotel managers, hotel owners, and consultants. And how do I know that? Because to know that these blogs exist, you need to subscribe to these blogs, okay? And to subscribe to these blogs, you need to be within the hospitality industry. So usually you sign yourself up for these blogs to keep yourself up to date about what is going on in the hotel industry. So to me, from my perspective as a researcher, this was the first time when I said, okay, now I can actually see what people are talking about, in terms of OTA and hotel relationship. So among these comments, there were 8 comments supported Expedia. Of course, like the bloggers were mostly hoteliers, okay? They were not mostly representing OTAs. So this was, I think, expected. 49 supported Choice Hotels, 43 opposed Expedia, and 5 opposed Choice Hotels in the conflict, and 20 were neutral comments, not supportive of either side. So now let's take a look at what the comments say. So here I categorize the comments in different categories, okay? So the first one is the characteristics of the hotel industry. 5 comments about business model and 4 comments about product characteristics of hotel industry. Let's look at the representative comments. Expedia epitomizes the worst in greed business moguls, but they built their business model, while the big hotel magnates continued with their business as usual approach and ignored the internet. So here again, hotels, it is not hotels expertise, right? Like technology, internet is not their expertise. So while big online travel agencies like Expedia, they were building up themselves and becoming stronger and stronger technological experts, hotels fell behind. So, and in terms of product characteristics, an occupied room is an unoccupied room. Once the day has passed, you have lost the opportunity to make money on it, right? This is related to perishability of the product. And many comments on fragmented nature of the hotel industry. The fragmented nature of the industry coupled with the fear of starvation will prevent any major peasant revolt. So here peasants is referred to hotels, right? So hotel industry is so afraid that they will not be able to sell their rooms. They will not be able to come together and revolt, basically. This is what the comment is saying. 8 comments on the traveler's booking behavior. The major stand against the 800-pound gorilla is admirable, but the only thing that matters is what the consumer wants. This is also very important, right? So now we see Choice Hotels, you know, they are trying to stand up to Expedia, right? Here 800-pound gorilla is Expedia, but then at the end of the day, if the customer wants to book through OTA, they will book through OTA, right? It doesn't matter what Expedia is doing, saying this comment. The second theme is the current business environment. This is obviously at the time of the data collection, there is an economic downturn. 9 comments on this one, and here's the representative comment. The industry is trying to pull through it. Franchisors and franchisees, as well as management companies and owners, are trying to reach compromises to get through a recession. So this is the issue with hotel industry investments, right? When the economy is good, profits are very high. But when the economy is bad, then you become a very risky business very fast, right? So one issue was the current business environment. Next is the bargaining power of OTAs and Expedia. This is so true. The industry just discounted away and was open to any distribution method and was willing to sell rooms at any cost. We got Expedia. So competition in the hotel industry is a real thing, right? So when Expedia comes and tells you, well, your competitor is subscribed to me already, you know, are you going to also join Expedia? Or they will say, we are doing a promotion in your district and these are the hotels that are joining the promotion. Are you also joining to the promotion, right? So online travel agencies, and this example, Expedia, supposedly were playing the hotels to each other, right? And that hence is the bargaining power. And other hotel groups issues with Expedia. I am curious as to how Marriott's best rate guaranteed by booking on their site has worked out, and how does that affect their relationship with the OTA. So here the example is one of the biggest brand names in hotel industry, right? They have such a big brand power, brand recognition, and a solid, loyal customer base is Marriott. So Marriott certainly is not reliant on Expedia as much as Choice Hotels is. Right, so here the comment is about all these, you know, many hotels have this best rate guarantee program. So they say you can only find the best rate on our website. So this comment is questioning that. So if this is the case, then, you know, how will rate parity is going to work, right? And how they can have a relationship with different type of OTAs. But, you know, these big hotel magnet names like Marriott, they are not as reliant on OTAs like no-name hotel brands are, right? So there are different dynamics here. Next theme is the symbiotic relationship between hotels and OTAs. Building healthy relationships is important, right? Because you want symbiotic means, you know, hotels benefit and OTAs benefit at the same time. And Expedia should be flexible. 3 comments on that, and also actual competitors of Expedia. So I have one representative comment on this, and this is coming from hotels perspective. We do certainly consider OTAs our friends. I'm not sure if OTAs do the same. The relationship should be symbiotic and not parasitic. Should be, yes, but is that the case? Next category is about Expedia's business practices. So many comments, 34 comments on conducting business with Expedia, 26 comments on functions of OTAs and Expedia, and here is a representative comment. OTAs can't sell rooms without hotels, and hotels look to OTAs as one of many market channels to sell unsold rooms. Absolutely, right? For an OTA to survive, you need to have room inventory coming from all the hotels that you are contracting. But then, for hotels living with perishable inventory, using the right distribution channel is very important, right? Even though there are high commissions, you are better off selling that room than not selling that room. 17 comments on business tactics of Expedia, 16 comments on commission charged by Expedia. So I quite like this comment. They are not travel agents. They are simply marketing technology companies that are using our money to advertise themselves to our customers. Yes, this is correct, but at the end of the day, it is hotel industry that created this giant, right? By giving their room inventory to the OTAs. 8 comments on actual role of Expedia and another 8 comments on the reputation of Expedia. Next theme was wake-up call for hoteliers. Evoking awareness among hoteliers and controlling OTAs, and 2 representative comments are, it's about time someone said enough is enough. Control them now or let them control you tomorrow. So these are all, supporting like other hotels to follow suit. So the next category, results derived from Choice's decision to break up negotiation with Expedia. Loss of business for many Choice hotels. It hurts Choice hotel owners most at a time when they need the revenue, because remember, this happened during a recession. No adverse effect on Expedia business. Given the star level and average daily rate of Choice hotels, one can be sure that Choice makes up an even lower percentage of Expedia's gross hotel revenue. So this, comment is basically saying overall, it is not the Expedia that's being hurt here, it is the Choice hotels and Choice hotel owners. Adverse effect on Expedia's business. Expedia will start losing revenue if a couple other hotel brands do the same as Choice Hotels International. But have they? No, they didn't, right? And I will tell you at the end what happened, like how this whole case ended between Choice Hotels and Expedia. Win for all other brands. The current situation is a dream for other franchisees. They will bask in the increased sales as a result of the squabble. So here is also shows the adverse effects of competition, right? So this comment is saying Expedia Choice Hotels are no more present on Expedia, than competitors of Choice Hotels will get more business as a result of that. And this is sad. Next category, next theme is the experience in dealing with guests that book through Expedia. Pricing related and service related issues. We aggressively ask Expedia guests to call us directly for better rates on their next stay, right? So you want to use OTA for visibility, but then when the customer comes, next time you basically try everything you can so that they book directly with you. Their customers are using them since they get the lowest rate, so then guest comes through and gets the worst room because they paid through OTAs. This is what happens. So this one is sad but true. So for example, if the hotel is overbooked and you need to walk a guest, you would choose the guest that would walk through OTA, right? Or if there is a room in your hotel that nobody likes and you are deciding which customer to put into this room, you would most probably put the OTA customer because you consider them as your not loyal customers. So also in this article, we looked at the recommendations for hotels. Look for alternative partners, like look for other distribution partners, renegotiate the contract, adopt airline model. Airlines do not pay any more commission fee to OTAs, or control your own business, or stand up together and develop skills to survive without unfavorable OTAs. So if you are interested in these recommendations, please take a look at the article, and you can see these recommendations and explanations in more detail. So now, if you are curious what happened at the end, what happened between Choice Hotels and Expedia. So after this squabble, very quietly Choice Hotels signed another contract with Expedia. Okay, I don't know, nobody knows actually if they were able to renegotiate the terms or what terms were renegotiated, but standing up together, developing skills to survive without unfavorable OTAs, or controlling their own business, these things unfortunately didn't happen. Okay, and today this is like a 10-year-old case, but today OTAs are still very strong. They are going very, very strong, and hotels continue paying incredible amounts of commission to them. So over the years, hotel industry has been working very hard to drive direct bookings, right? Now we are going to look at some of these efforts and also have a discussion on the issues, right? So yes, hotels try to increase their direct bookings, but at the same time, hotels have to continue using online travel agencies, right? Online travel agencies help hotels to reach customers in different markets, right? That wouldn't necessarily know even the presence of the hotel. So certainly hotels need to work with them, but at the same time, how can hotels use online travel agencies for visibility, but in turn try to convince these customers to book with them directly instead of with online travel agencies? Because the ideal scenario looks something like this. So customer goes to an OTA site of their choice, and they are doing a research in a locality, in a country, in a city, whatever, and then they find the hotel that they like. So when they pick a hotel of their choice, it is very likely that the customer will also check hotel's own website before they make a final decision, right? To see how hotel looks like, rooms look like, etc. So at this moment, when customers shifted their focus from OTA to the hotel website, can hotel capture this customer and convince the customer to book through them directly instead of the OTA, right? This is the issue. But before we get into that, let's take a look at what hotels have been doing, to over the years to convince customers to book directly with them. So we will see many Hilton advertisements here. Stop clicking around. Now book at Hilton.com to get the lowest price anywhere and free Wi-Fi, so start indulging. Here's another one. So this one is like a more of a general advertisement. This one is very much targeting this happy couple. And same advertisement, it says start rediscovering. Here another couple. This is for H&Rs, their loyal membership. H&Rs members get the lowest price anywhere, so start saving. And again, they say stop clicking around. Their only condition here, you must be an H&Rs member. So here, this is a Thai brand. So if you book directly with them, you can have free breakfast, kids stay for free, and you can have free late checkout. Here you have many more things. Everybody gets free Wi-Fi, right? But you can collect points and get free nights. You have exclusive offers. This is Kimpton. You can get some spa credit and you can get some bar credit. This is Marriott. Free Wi-Fi for members, but I think today everybody has free Wi-Fi, right? I don't know if anybody, charges for Wi-Fi anymore. So this is, it pays to book direct. Marriott. These were actually actual advertisements where people act and play, I think. So then we come to this question, how to increase direct bookings. So I will go through several strategies, okay, hotels have used so far, and I will tell you which ones of those have been successful and which one of those haven't been successful. Price match guarantee, okay. Price match guarantee is the same thing with best rate guarantee. Right, with best rate guarantee, you are assuring your customers that if they find a lower rate for the same room type and date on any other platform, then hotel will match that price or offer an additional discount. So this is an assurance that hotels try to give to their customers, right, as a gift sort of booking directly with them. If hotels are implementing this, they have to do it fully, right? So I had experiences where, you know, an international hotel brand implement this in North America, but they don't implement this in Europe. So you need some kind of consistency so that the story is believable, right? And customers really understand where you are coming from. Another strategy is exclusive discounts or promotions. You can provide these exclusive discounts, special offers, or package deals that are only available to customers who book directly through the hotel's website or reservation center. We also see this, right, happening in the couple of advertisements that I show you prior to this question here, how to increase direct bookings. We see hotels are already trying this. Then there are loyalty programs. So with loyalty programs, basically you are trying to reward your repeat guests, right? You give them points, free upgrades, and some other perks when they book directly with the hotel. So in my mind, okay, this is completely my thought, loyalty programs are a thing of the past for the hotel industry, because if you look at now online travel agencies like your you know, booking.com, Agoda, etc., they have better loyalty programs than hotels, and OTA loyalty programs are better because they have access to so many brands in so many destinations, right? So I don't think this one works. Another one I like is the early check-in and late checkout. So hotels have normal check-in and check-out hours, right? Usually you need to check in like around 3 o'clock and you need to check out before 12 o'clock. But what if, you know, you give customer a wider window if they book directly with you? I think this one definitely creates some value to the customer. You are not playing with the price, right? So you can still have rate parity, but you can give them these, you know, these things through your website which are not available through OTA. But you have to make sure also this is not against your contractual agreement with the OTA. Transparent policies, I think, are very important, you know, regardless of you are trying to win the customer or not, right? You need to clearly communicate the cancellation and modification policies on the website so that, you know, you want your customers to feel confident and secure about booking directly. And this one I think is very difficult to compete as well for hotels, because think about online travel agency. Your all customer information is already stored there, and OTAs are quite good in spelling out terms and conditions very clearly, right? So it makes the booking process very, very simple actually on the OTA in comparison to the hotel website. Another avenue that hotels have been working on are personalized experiences, right? If you can highlight personalized services and amenities that guests can enjoy when booking directly, then you can show the added value of the direct reservation. For example, give customers some concierge information, right? Information about the city, what they can do, some agenda type of a thing, and AI can help you to do this, right? I think this would be good. And in some hotels you can, you know, do like a pillow menu, so you can choose the thickness of your pillow and how you want your not the mattress, but how you want your like bedding, comforter stuff, so you can actually choose those. There can be some, you know, customer service incentives, right? Like I said, some kind of, concierge that will directly answer your questions request or any special accommodation request. That would be good. I think another avenue where there is room for improvement from the hotel side is flexibility in room selection, right? In hotels, usually you are not going to assign a room to the customer until that day, right? The rooms are reserved, but they are not, a specific room is not assigned to a customer. But what if you allow the customer to choose a specific room or room type during the booking process? That will give them more control over their experience. One of the foolproof sort of a thing every hotel should do is the direct booking landing page. Okay, make sure when the customer lands on the hotel website, it is user friendly, it is visually appealing, but also it is user friendly, specifically designed to highlight the benefits of booking directly, right? So the customer doesn't have to search. So these are some of the things that hotels have been doing. Okay, some are being successful, some are not, but they are working. They are certainly working on it. And one last one also came to my mind I would like to mention is membership rates, right? So if you want to give customer a discount from the public rate that you display on the website, you should ask them to be a member, just like, H Honors member, for example. Because when customer has a membership, they log in and then they see a rate. That rate is not transparent. Then the OTA cannot tell you anything about that rate, right? They cannot complain about it because the rate is not transparent to your customers. So, what are other distribution related matters? One is rate parity or disparity. Okay, so rate parity, like I mentioned before, is a term that is coined by online travel agencies. Okay, and it is about having the same rate across all distribution channels. So according to Triptease 2016 statistics, on average, the price on a hotel's website was undercut by an OTA 1 in 4 times. You see, it is actually undercut by an OTA, not by the hotel in this case. This undercutting is costing hotels over $1 billion a year in direct bookings. Despite this, the direct price is an average of $10.27 cheaper across the board. This is interesting, right? So let's talk about rate parity versus disparity. Again, it is a term that is requested by online travel agencies when OTAs and hotels sign a contractual agreement. Okay, because remember, this is also OTA's business model, right? OTAs are telling their customers, we give you the best rate. So then they don't want hotels to charge a lower rate on their own websites. So in different parts of the world, different things apply. For example, in majority of the Southeast Asia, still rate parity applies, right? Your hotels have to follow rate parity. But in Europe, if I remember the country correctly, in France, there was a lawsuit between one of the OTAs and the government. Basically, government was saying if you impose rate parity, this is a rate parity clause on the hotels, this is not in the best interest of the hotels. Then in such countries, hotels don't have to follow rate parity anymore. Okay, so it really depends on the region. So in general, what does rate parity do? It is supposed to protect margins, hotel margins, from price wars, because you cannot continuously decrease the price to fight with each other. You need to keep the price at a certain level and enable everyone to offer the best price. Yes, but then it leaves hotel with almost no advantages, right, towards an OTA. So if rate parity exists, and it is so much easier to book through the OTA, all your personal information is there, your credit card information is there, you'll just press a button to complete your booking. So then why would you book through a hotel's website? So the recommendation here is, for the hotels that follow rate parity, you should try to differentiate by services rather than price advantages to win the customers to book directly. And we talk some of those sort of, things that hotels can do, right, to encourage customers to book directly. And then let's talk about for a little bit why disparity happens. Okay, disparity can happen for several reasons, but here are the most popular reasons. Number one, OTA is using a different currency conversion rate than your hotel. This is quite, I think, straightforward, right? When we have different currencies, different locations, this type of discrepancy can happen. So number two is the culprit. This is the worst thing to happen to a hotel, basically. Wholesale rates have been put on sale by the OTA, or OTAs also might have sold them to another third party. So unless your hotel specifically agreed to the rates being sold, you can insist on rates being removed. So hotels also should monitor, their rates across different distribution channels, right? And if they see their wholesale rates publicly sold to the customers, then they can request these rates being removed. But again, this has to be part of the contract that hotel signs with the wholesaler, right? And number three, OTA is using their commission to discount the rate or is applying a lesser markup to a net rate. This might happen all the time or only certain times and may only happen for specific markets. So this is from the merchant model. Remember the merchant OTA model where you sell your rooms at a deep discount and then OTA does the markup. But what if, when they do a high markup, they are not able to sell the room, then they are going to cut down their commission, right? Or they will lower the markup rate. This one is more difficult to complain from the hotel's perspective because they have already sold the rooms to the wholesaler, to the OTA. So here, most important thing are the contractual terms, right? What are the terms written in that contract that can stop OTA from lowering the rate or put these rates quite low in comparison to the hotel's normal public rates? So I have talked about Triptease. So Triptease is a company that is quite popular by the hotel industry. So Triptease is basically when you have Triptease on your website, let's say, customer is on your booking page and they are going to complete a booking, the Triptease is going to show your direct price, and then you can select some OTAs, okay, to do price comparison so that customer can do price comparison readily. So in this example, we have Expedia.com, Hotels.com, and Orbitz.com. So you are telling the customer basically, you don't need to look any further. You can just check the main OTA rates here. So Triptease had this proposition. If and when OTAs undercut you are the hotel, you can automatically decrease your price on the website to the same price with OTA. Is this a good idea or a bad idea? So let's read what is happening here. So let's say your OTAs don't follow rate parity. OTAs drop the price. So the recommendation is when OTAs drop the price, then we can drop the price on your website automatically so you can match the OTA. Is this a good idea or a bad idea? So again, let's go back to the original title of this topic, Strategic Pricing and Management of Distribution Channels. This can be a very good short-term solution, but it is a very bad long-term solution, right? Because you are basically discounting your rates for no reason. It is not a strategic decision. You are just trying to match OTA's behavior, which is not in the best interest of the hotel. So we are going to wrap up our discussion with this slide. So what is the main issue here? The wholesale B2B net rates. This is business to business. So when hotel sells their inventory to a wholesaler, this is called B2B. Okay, so wholesale B2B net rates are being distributed B2C. So hotel is selling to the wholesaler, but wholesaler is selling to the customer, right? That is B2C, and end up in meta search engines undercutting brand.com sites. And hotels are losing control of their pricing and distribution. What is the solution here? Again, solution here is to do the right contract when, you know, this wholesale is happening between the hotel and the wholesaler, right? In that contractual agreement, hotel has to make sure that they don't allow wholesaler or OTAs to undercut public rates or to shove discount rate categories by standalone, right? So you can protect that rate by packaging it, for example, so customer doesn't necessarily see the standalone price of the hotel room. So these details are very important matters in relation to hotel distribution.